Howdy everybody. I've been promising to do this one for a while. Today, now that we've got rid of the Mem Saab and the Nipper for the afternoon, they've gone off to a pantomime. Oh no, they haven't. Oh yes, they have. Ha! Fantastic. It's Cinderella apparently. I'm going to do a little video on reloading ammunition. I had a call from my stepfather the other day who asked me, "Oh, have you heard about the lead ban? They've been talking about banning lead for hunting ammunition for use in deer for some time, and we don't want to get caught with our pants down. So if they do ban lead, we'll have immediately switched over to copper." So here's what we've been using so far. We've been using these Hornady SSTs that are horribly efficient, and they've dropped so many deer it's not even funny. But if they do pull the plug on lead and they start getting sniffy about things, we need plan B. So plan B is these Nosler ones, almost exactly the same sort of thing, but non-lead. They're just made of copper, and they consistent expansion, 95% weight retention, and deep penetration. It actually says that on the box, deep penetration. We all like a bit of deep penetration, so stick with us. I'm going to talk us through how we reload our ammunition. Okay, right, first things first, get yourself a nice, clean, tidy space to work in. I've got these tables that I wheel out that get used for all sorts of stuff. Now, everyone says to me, why do you reload in the first place? Well, let's take a look at these. If you were to buy 20 rounds of ammunition, which is, let's see, 5, 10, 15, that's that many there. A good quality ammunition, that could be anything up to 40 quid, possibly more. So at about £2 a bang, 175 a bang, it's a bit much. And of all the deer I've ever shot, none of them have ever had the wallet on them or a pocket. So we've got to make that money back somehow. So we've got it down to about 60p. So first things first is get your cartridges. Cartridges have got to be nice and clean inside and out. These have been tumbled through our stainless steel pin tumbler that I made myself, and they've been deprimed, some of them. What we might do is just deprime all the rest of these and get them all ready. The first thing I'm going to do is give them a squirt with this Lee lubricant. Obviously it's nothing to do with me, I wish it was. I'd be minted if I was involved with this, but I'm not. And the important thing is not to get anything stuck. Right then, I'm just going to scroll down a little bit so you can see this press. Oh, yep. The press has also got to be secured, he says, dropping his explosive primers on the floor, just to give you a bit more purchase on it. So get everything ready first and get your Lee lubricant to make sure that nothing gets stuck. That's stage one. Right, the next phase of the operation, once we've done that and all the primer pockets are clean, there's one, is we're going to trim our cartridge length. Now, everyone says to me, why do you have to do this? As the round is fired, this cartridge length expands slightly with heat, and what we don't want this doing is getting too out of shape. So we just fit it into there, and we put on the old quick trim thing. I should be getting some company sponsorship. And all this does is this just going to sharpen up the end of it. So I fit that in, I press down, give it a once round, and when I take that out, you'll see that the top of that, the edge of this now is nice and shiny and ready to accept the cartridge. So, one done. After that, it's primers. Right, stay with us. Right, primers then. These primers are 100 pieces of primers for large rifle from Bosnia, of all places. Highly flammable, keep away from that. You see the little red bits? That's the bit that's going to go on the inside of the cartridge, and the shiny brown bit goes on the other way. So I'll show you what we do with these. This can be a bit of a fiddle, but I like to think we've got quite good at it. So first things first, stick some primers down. We put our primer that way into there. Yep, we got it. And then we put our thing in there, and we gently close this together and give it one little crunch forward. Right, when we take it out and the primer's already gone in there, I always run my finger across that just to make sure that it's sitting either flush or better than flush. But that's that one primed and ready to go. One down, 33 to go. 32 rather. Right, that's that little lot all primed. I can take out the primer arm now and stick that back in. All these little stages need to be done meticulously and in sequence. and it helps if your mind is laid out a little bit logically. Sadly, mine is. If you start missing things, skipping things, phone starts ringing, coming back, you'll never remember what you've actually got up to. Right, so there we go at the moment. What we've done is we've resized, we've trimmed, and we've primed. Next thing we're going to do is start weighing out some powder. This is the fancy bit. Right, I'm just going to give you a look at the rounds we're going to use here and show you the difference between the two. Right, this is what we have been using. This is 165 grain Hornady, and this is the new one, which is 168 grain Nosler E-tip. You can see how the other one's a bit bigger. Obviously one's got lead in it and the other one's a solid copper, which accounts for a bit more of the size difference. But with there only being like sort of 3 grains difference, I don't think that's going to make a lot of difference performance wise. But we're going to treat them both the same, and we'll see what happens on the range when we come to test them out. But not a lot of difference between those two, apart from this is the modern one with no lead in it, and that's the old school one. So yeah, interesting. Right then, we're getting the good bit now. Now we're going to start weighing out some powder. Now very, very careful here. You don't want to be exceeding the maximum load. And obviously there's chart data available for all this stuff. But we've been using the same formula on this 308 stuff for about a couple of years. So I know that 2.86 is the number we're looking for to get us the speed we want in our cartridges. You've got to be really careful. Put too much in or double load it. You can blow yourself up, blow the gun up, blow the barrel up, cost yourself a lot of money and embarrass yourself. So we need to be properly trained in the use of this. And it's a very, very good idea to know what you're doing. So, let's see if we're getting close to any kind of accuracy here. I'm just going to zoom in a wee bit. I don't know if you can see those numbers. Can you see those numbers? Yeah, let's try and give you a little look at that. Okay, right. .45, 44. Right, what we've actually done here, from the looks of it, is put it into grains, not grams. There, 2.87. Now, generally speaking, I am happy if it's within 1/10 of that. So if it's 2.85 or 2.87, I'll accept it. So tip that in there, like that. 2.89, bit tasty on that one. Oh no, 2.87. Let's do another one. If in doubt, chuck it back in, do another one. Tear off. Single stroke down. .87. That's just lovely. Okay, right, we're going to have that then. Right, we take out that, and I'm just going to buzz you over this way a little bit so you can see a bit better. I'll zoom out too. Sorry, it's doing this two-handed. It's not easy. There we go, let's come out of there. There, that's giving you quite a good look. Right, this is where you need a meticulous mind. First thing you do is you put your funnel on, tip every single grain of the powder into there. Right, so that nothing else falls out. You then get your round, which is going into that one, which is the seating die. Yes, it is. There. And then I'm going to just sit the round on top of there, push it down, and this is where everything's in the way. I don't know if you can still see that. Can you still see that? You can still see that. And as I bring this down, it's going to seat it, it's going to crimp it, and everything's going to be lovely. And there we go. That's our finished round. At this point, this legally becomes a round. And you see that factory crimp's held that in nicely. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to check the case overall length, cartridge overall length. So I turn it on. If there's any battery in this bloody thing, which there probably isn't, which is annoying. And just make sure they're all the same on. I'm going to change the battery in that. But that's one finished round. That's one of the old ones. That's probably one of the last 3 old ones we're going to use here, because that's one of the old ballistic tipped lead cord Hornadies. So not too many of them left. So, there you have it. That's the end of our production sequence. We've knocked out 33 rounds there. That took probably about 15-20 minutes. And that's our production. We've got 3 of the old ones with the red tips, and we've got all the rest of these new ones that are all with the green olive tips. And I'm just going to do a little case overall measurements to make sure they're all lovely, and that's it. So yeah, saved a few bob there, and as they like to say, coming soon to a vital area near you. Actually, it's not that bloodthirsty. I tend to declare a bit of a truce over Christmas, and the butcher's not taking any more deliveries until at least the 26th, because he's all full of game in there. But yeah, we're going to give these a shot. Stay tuned.